Hey guys, Callum here, and welcome to my review of Doctor Who Series 11, Episode 7, Kerblam. Well, that was a very interesting episode this week. I really don't know how to start this one. I feel like I say that most weeks, to be fair. Anyway, Kerblam. What did I think of Kerblam? I actually quite enjoyed it, really. I thought it was fun. I thought it was quite silly, but then it took a turn within the last 20 minutes, and I quite enjoyed that. It was weird. It was a very weird story, but it was entertaining. It felt that some characters weren't developed enough, and I mean the side characters, I would probably have to say. And it felt like that none of them really had any real satisfying conclusions, I guess, is the real issue I have with the episode. I think the concept I was really a fan of, and obviously it was predictable that that the robots would be the villains of the story, though they are not. Though technically, actually, they're not. The villains are actually they're the heroes actually, because it's hard to say, but they were fighting against the villain, who was Charlie, who seemed like a nice person, but in fact was trying to start a revolution against the government or whatever about the whole 10% of human workers or living workers. I enjoyed Jodie's performance as the Doctor this week. I thought she was very good, as she has been most weeks. I think Ryan was alright this episode. I think he had a good few cool moments. Yaz, I think, again, was kind of there again, but I liked her part at the end of the episode when talking about Dan, who died, wanting to give back the necklace that Dan had back to his daughter. I thought that was quite a nice moment. I think again, Graham, best part about the episode, because Bradley Walsh is pretty much the best thing on the show. It's just funny, witty, and it's just entertaining to watch Bradley Walsh in the show so far. I think most of the side characters, they were interesting, but they didn't really go anywhere. I think Kira, you get her idea of like she's an orphan who is grateful for what she has, and that's kind of it. And she supposedly had a crush on Charlie. You could tell from that one scene in the garden. But it didn't really go anywhere because she obviously was killed due to Charlie's plan. Even though Charlie obviously fell in love with Kira, so you obviously have the two members of staff, the one in power and the executive. The executive was probably whatever his name was, I can't remember. He was just sort of there. He said they suspected he had something to do with it, but he didn't. But he didn't really have anything to do with the real plot of the story. Same with the management, the woman who was in charge of basically the staff and managing them. She again just kind of felt like that she was there. I don't know. Writing for this episode was decent. I think I'm finding that all the guest writers are just better than Chibnall's writing, which shouldn't be the case, to be fair, because he's the showrunner. I think the effects were okay. I think that was weird, that parcel scene where Charlie, Ryan and Yaz are all in the massive warehouse of parcels on treadmills and stuff. Well, it reminded me of the scene from Monsters Inc. and it reminded me of something else as well. Toy Story, that's what it was. It reminded me of that scene in Toy Story 2. I think there's not really much else to talk about in real detail on the initial viewing. I think if I was I entertained, I would have to say so. I think this story was fun and silly. Like I said, I was interested the whole way through. I wanted to see how it ended, and I felt it was not a satisfying conclusion, but it wasn't terrible. It did sort of kind of just ended the last 5 minutes. It felt like it rushed. That's probably why the big criticism I have of it. It kind of rushed. Like from when you find out that Charlie is actually the villain of the story, it ends in like 2 minutes. So I guess it did seem like it had to rush itself to a conclusion, which obviously isn't fantastic. But I don't think it was too bad. What else do I want to talk about? Soundtrack, Sega Canola. Last week it was absolutely phenomenal. This week it's a bit toned back, but it was fine. There was absolutely nothing wrong with it. What else? I think that's pretty much it. That's really, in terms of initial viewing, that's all it has. I did actually quite like. This is literally just 1 second in the actual episode, but I love how when they mentioned like sticking disturbing a wasp nest, that the Doctor references Unicorn and the Wasp. Mentioning the episode with Agatha Christie, that was actually quite fun, because it's that kind of fan service I like, because that feels like something that the Doctor would just say. Like she said last week, how she married she did the wedding for Einstein, but it's nice to have a little moment where it calls back to an episode which I'm not that fond of, but it's a nice little reference. It's fun. It's nice little fan service that I can appreciate, and it just brought me back to how good Series 4 was, because in my opinion Series 4 is the best series of Doctor Who. New Who, definitely. It's got everything, I would say. It has duds, but I don't think they're even that bad. Anyway, back to this episode. I think I'm going to now give it a rating now. This is a very short one, because I don't think I really have much to talk about, because it's a very simple plot. But it's fun, and I think it's done in an interesting way. So, what rating would I give Kerblam? Last week was my favourite episode of the series so far, and I hold that statement. Where does Kerblam sit? God. I really enjoyed. I liked it. It rushed its ending though, and some characters I don't think were developed enough. So that's probably the main gripes I have with the episode. So, in saying that, I'm going to give Kerblam. I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10. I think it's good. I think it's entertaining. It's fun. It makes you laugh a few times. Graham's the best part about the episode, but the ending is rushed, and the characters, the side characters who are important to the plot, don't feel like they're developed enough. But other than that, I don't have any real problems with the episode. It was just a fun hour of television. So far, we have 3 episodes left now. So we have next week, which is the Witch Hunter episode, and then we have the last 2 episodes, which have just been announced in detail what they are and what the titles are. So it'll be interesting to see how this series ends. Right now, this series is probably it's an okay series. It has some great moments and great episodes, like, I think, Demons of the Punjab. And I guess Rosa, even though I'm not a fan of Rosa. But I think, depending on how the next 3 episodes go, this will be a very okay series. It'll be right in the middle of the park. It'll probably be like better than Series 2, and probably just underneath Series 6 or something like that, maybe. That's how I see it right now. But if the next 3 episodes knock it out of the park, then this could be up there. It could legitimately be up there. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode review. Please let me know what you thought of the episode, what you liked and disliked. Please leave a like on this video if you enjoyed, and subscribe for more Doctor Who reviews in the next 3 weeks. Next week's episode review will be on the Monday, because I'm busy on the Sunday night, so I won't be able to watch it and do a review because I'll be knackered if I try and attempt that. So see you on Monday next week. Hope you guys enjoy this video, and I'll see you next time.